Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Titus Andronicus, and today we get to hear from Saturninus in Act 1, Scene 1. Now, I think in the folio at this point they're calling him Saturnine instead of Saturnius, but it's the same person. And anyway, Saturninus is the eldest son of the emperor who just died, and we started off Act 1, Scene 1. He and his brother were both sort of vying to become the next emperor, but then they wanted Titus to do it. But Titus had to bury a son first, and then this part's gonna get gross. They had to murder Tamara's eldest son, Alarbus. They dismembered and burned him. And then Titus did a little bit more eulogizing of his sons, and then Marcus Andronicus was like, Titus, the people want you to be the new emperor, and he was like, no, I don't want to be the emperor. His daughter is now there, Lavinia, and his 4 living sons, Lucius Quintus, Marcius, and Mutius, are there to see him say, no, I shouldn't be emperor. Like, I'm too old for this. It's kind of ridiculous to make me emperor. Let somebody else do it, but let me choose who the new emperor is going to be if the people want me to be it. So yesterday Titus named Saturninus emperor of Rome. So Saturninus is like, great, cool, thanks. First act, I'm going to marry your daughter Lavinia and make her queen, and that'll, like bind our houses together. And Titus is like, sounds good to me. Lavinia's sound good to you? And she's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And Titus is like, okay, so that's going to go on. And he turns to Tamara and says, you are now his prisoner. What happens to you is up to him. And in that pass-off, Saturninus looks at Tamara maybe for the first time and really notices how beautiful she is, and he has a little tiny moment of regret where he's like, I should have picked you. I should have picked you to be my bride because you're much more pleasing to me than she is. But anyway, never mind. Lavinia, I'm going to make you the greatest empress that ever was, so let's go and get married. And then it says he courts Tamara really quickly. But then Basanius comes in and grabs Lavinia and is like, she's mine, because apparently they were betrothed before this whole thing happened. And Titus's 4 sons all stand up and they're like, run away with her, she's yours, so get her out of here and we'll protect you. And Titus is like, what are you doing? You're being traitors. She's supposed to marry Saturninus now. I decreed that. And the 4 brothers are like, over our dead bodies. So 3 of the brothers, Lucius Quintus and Marcius, leave with Lavinia and Marcus, and Mutius is left to guard the door. He's like, run away, I'll hold him off. And Titus goes up to Mutius. He's like, let me through. And Mutius is like, no, I will not. So Titus kills him. He stabs and kills his own son in this moment, which might make us think twice about exactly how much he's been mourning the loss of his 21 other sons who have died in the wars and that sort of thing. But he kills his own son to try to get Lavinia back. But while Lavinia and Basanius are off and sort of hiding away, Saturninus and Tamara and her remaining children, Chiron and Demetrius and Aaron the Moor, they all run around this way and they enter a pier from above. And Saturninus is like, you know what? It's fine if she doesn't come back. I don't need her anyway, and I don't need you, Titus, either. And Titus is like, what? And Saturninus turns to Tamara and says, and therefore, lovely Tamara, Queen of Goths, that like the stately Thebe mongst her nymphs dost overshine the gallantest dames of Rome. If thou be pleased with this my sudden choice, behold, I choose thee, Tamara, for my bride, and will create thee Empress of Rome. Speak, Queen of the Goths, how dost thou applaud my choice? And here I swear by all the Roman gods, sith priest and holy water are so near, and tapers burn so bright, and everything in readiness for Hymenaeus stand, I will not resalute the streets of Rome, or climb my palace, till from forth this place I lead espoused my bride along with me. So after all that, after Titus has just killed one of his sons to try to get his daughter back so she can marry Saturninus and become the empress, Saturninus is like, nope, I don't want her anyway. I'm going to marry Tamara, queen of the Goths. The queen of the people that Titus has been fighting for the last 10 years and who have killed 21 of his sons. Now, granted, he just killed one of her sons, so there's plenty of bad blood on both sides. But I mean, this is rather a massive slap to the face right now that Titus just handed over his prisoner from this war that he's been fighting for 10 years. And Saturninus is like, yep, I'm going to marry her and make her Empress of Rome instead of your daughter. And Saturninus is like, Pausanias is welcome to have Lavinia. Like, he'll make a great son-in-law for you, you sad old man, Titus. And Titus is, very upset about this whole thing. And everybody leaves the stage for a moment except for Titus. And that's actually a good place to stop. He doesn't get a full-on monologue when he's by himself tomorrow, but it feels like this scene, it's a very long scene. It feels like this scene should have chapters, and that just feels like a chapter from Saturninus becoming emperor to becoming engaged to Lavinia, to Pausanias stealing Lavinia away, to Titus killing his own son, to Saturninus saying, you know what, I don't need any of you anyway, I'm going to marry Tamara, let's go get married now, so when I ascend to my throne as emperor, I have my queen by my side. That's a good place to end for today. So we'll pick it up tomorrow and we'll figure out exactly what sort of headspace Titus is in after all of this. We'll see you then for more. Mwah.